Behind me here, guys, you see the iron farm we are going to be building today, and let me tell you, the drop rates on it are absolutely insane. In fact, if we have a look down here, I've not had this thing running all that long, but you can see all the iron and all the poppies we've got here. It's pretty insane. You're going to get about 6 stacks of iron ingots every single hour from this thing, and it is not too difficult to build. What I will say is this is not really my design. This is Misty's design. I'll put a link to his video down in the description. What I have done, though, is I've adapted it and in some ways made it a little bit better, and I've also sort of explained a few things that I saw in his comments people were struggling with. Now, this is not to detract from his video in any way, guys. He did a very good job on this, and it is a fantastic iron farm. I'm simply making sure he gets the credit he deserves for it and saying there are just a couple of tweaks that I've made to it. That's all I'm trying to say here, okay? Now, a couple of like housekeeping things to get us started off. First of all, over there is my villager breeder. Make sure you do not build this thing near your villager breeder if you have one, and if you're building this in survival mode, you will definitely need one, because otherwise it can interact and you don't want that. So I've left about 150 blocks. You want to leave probably at least 100 or more. Be on the safe side. Be as safe as you can. Now, if you want to see my video on the villager breeder, I will link that down in the description as well, so you can check that out if you want. So that's the drop rates I've talked about. The final thing to say is about the chapters. So down in the video description, I'll put all kinds of useful resources, so videos that might be helpful. I'll also put a full materials list, which we're also going to do on cam in a second, and I'll also have chapters and timestamps, so you can go and see which specific bit of this video you want to check out. Now, just a quick thing on the rails here. This is one of the things I did different to Misty that I did retrospectively after I'd built the farm, and there is a little clip that I do explaining this and the difference in this, but because I did this right at the end once the farm was made, you will see some clips where the rail system is different, but just to say, I highly recommend that you use this one. So in any bits of the video where the rail system is different, just ignore that. Okay, let's have a look at the materials you need to actually build this thing. On the screen right now are the materials that you will need. You may want to pause it here. Also down in the video description and pinned comments will be the materials list there too. Do bear in mind things like if you're doing this in survival, you'll also need things like potentially a village, or probably even better, a villager breeder, and then you'll also need things like rail to get the villagers from the breeder over to the structure. You may need things like scaffolding blocks as well if you're playing in survival, so those things do potentially need to be added, but these are just the materials for the actual iron farm itself. So one thing I wanted to include in this video was a bit of an overview of the farms and some specific sections, because I believe this will help you guys when you are building it, if you want to pause here, if you want to count blocks and that type of thing. So that's probably long enough for the aerial view. What I'm going to do now is just come and fly down here, have a little look at this. So this right here is the chamber specifically for where the golems will be spawning and dying. Hopefully that explains this angle of it. And if we come down to the side here, you'll be able to see the way I've placed the slabs, the blocks underneath, and obviously around this side as well. Then we have the villager pens, which are here. So this is a good view from the side here of the villager trading pens. This is them from above. And we're also going to do one from just down in here as well. If I fly down into the center here, you'll be able to see it from this angle. So hopefully all of that makes good sense as well. Now, I do explain all this stuff in the video, but even so, I just thought this might be helpful. This is the bit in the middle, of course, with the zombie on. And you got to be careful, because my zombie died and I had to get a new one in. So this is Iron Nick 2.0. You'll find out why that is later on in the video. So that's the iron sort of bit. Sorry, the zombie sort of bit. And just to say as well, although I've left the redstone blocks in place, in the end I went for just the 1 powered rail in the middle here rather than the 4, because I found that it was moving too quickly with the 4 and that 1 would suffice. In terms of the chambers, we'll have a quick look at them as well. These are reasonably self-explanatory, just chambers going down here into the lava pits with the signs and things. But once again, hopefully this will be somewhat helpful to you if you're getting stuck on any bits. Then we can have a look here at the hoppers going in the middle, and also the rail systems. So these are the rail systems here. We should have a quick look at this on either side. They are exactly the same. These blocks here are not needed. I need to take them down, but I'm just quickly showing you guys how that is. Guys, I hope this kind of helped as a little overview of the farm. It's something I may include in future tutorials if you liked it. So if you did, then please do drop a like and let me know down in the comments that you enjoyed having this and it was helpful for your building. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at the rail system as the first thing that you build. So these platforms are 17 blocks that way and 3 blocks this way. As you can see at the extremities here, we have 1 block placed up there. So this would be on block number 18, so it's 17 to this corner here. And and then that makes sure it's on top of a powered rail there with a redstone block underneath. And then we just run normal rails through the middle here until we get to this area. So these hoppers go in the exact middle. So this is the 9th block, so there's 8 blocks this way, this is number 9, there's another 8 blocks that way up to the 17th, like that. And then, oops, if we just come up here, you can see we've got the 3 redstone blocks there with powered rails on top, one off from this side and one off from this side, and then again at the end here, a redstone block with this on top for the minecart to hit that and go back. Once you have your minecarts in place, you can use this whole thing as a bit of a guide as to where exactly you need to build your magma chambers here. So I've just put myself in creative mode to help with this and show you this, although I did build it all in survival. But basically what we have here is the magma cube obviously goes the length of these 3, right? It's a 3 by 3. And if we got this block here, we've got one rail there, and then on this one here, on the 3rd one away from that, is where we start the magma. And this is a 3 by 3 of magma blocks. There is then, as you can see here, we've got the glass. We've got then another glass layer here, and on the second glass layer here, this is where the signs are placed. So you need 9 signs. You're going to place them all on the inside there. Then above, you place one lava bucket on the very center sign of this 3 by 3 of signs here. Then you're going to continue onwards building your glass cage right the way up there, which I'll show you in a second. So that is where the kill chambers need to go. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you do have any questions, let me know in the comments. Also, if we just have a look from this kill chamber here, we were just talking about over to this one here. It's a similar sort of story. So there's our redstone powered rail there. And then we've got block number 2. And on the 3rd block, once again, the magma blocks get placed. There's always going to be 2 like lines of rail after the magma block, and it's the same on all 4 corners. So if you just remember that, you've always got the 2 rail, and then the block starts there and starts to build inwards. Same thing here. We've got 2 rail if you come around this side, of course, 1, 2, and then it starts there. So hopefully that makes sense, right? 1, 2 starts there. Yeah, hopefully you guys are getting this, and it should be pretty self-explanatory after seeing all of that. So the next thing to do is extend the kill chambers up, as you see I've been doing here on 3 of them. Once again, I've left the 4th one to do with you guys on cam, so we can have a look at it. If you're doing this in survival mode, what I recommend is you get some scaffolding and get nearby, and just build it way up into the sky like this. What we can do then is get up on top here and just jump from the scaffolding down on top of here. Now, in terms of how high you need to build this thing, they say the minimum is about 7 blocks. I would go more than that just to be sure. I would do at least 10. I've actually done 15 here. Regardless of how many you're doing though, what I'd recommend is you build up like this. So if you jump and place on one of the blocks like this until you've got all of them done. So we had 55, so I think we got to get up to like 40, right? And we can check when we're up here, and we're now level with this one. So that's the right place. Then I'm going to fly back down. And once again, climb up my scaffolding. So obviously it's always a bit more of a faff in survival, but it'll be very worth it come the end with all the iron. And then we're just going to jump up in place like this. Obviously do be careful not to fall into the lava, because that's going to suck. So I'm going to carry on building this until we get to the top, and then we'll have a look at how we build the stuff once we're up there. The next thing to build are the areas where the iron golems are going to spawn and then be put into the kill chambers. You can see here I've built 3. Again, we're going to build the 4th one together on cam so you guys can see how it's done. If I just jump down here, you'll get like a general idea as to exactly what's happening. You'll see the slabs around the extremities here mean the golems cannot spawn on these. They will spawn in here, and then they'll be taken by the water here down into the kill chamber area. So that's basically how it's going to work, and I will show you how to make it. Now you'll see here that what happens is these areas here are, so this is the kill chamber, is it's sort of built around the outside, and I'll show you what I mean by that when we build the next one. But this center bit is obviously kept free because we need to do some more building stuff there in a second. So having an elytra I found has really helped for this project. If you are doing this build, something I would recommend. So basically, if we're going to build to the extremities, that means that it's going to come on this one here. So we're going to build 4 there, and 1, 2, 3 there as well to make this sort of rim here. So then it's sort of open on the inside. We're not building on top of that glass. We're just building on top of the glass on the outside, if that makes sense. Okay, so then we're going to build here 1, 2, and 3 like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 in total. And the 5th one is where we're going to start coming back this way. And we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. And then another 7 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And if you've done this correctly, you'll see it will link up with the little bit you made in the beginning. And then the next thing is to just go ahead and fill all this in. So with that filled in, what you want to do now is put the rims on. You can see we've got 2 rings of slabs here. They hold in the water and also the iron golems and stuff like that. So basically what we're going to do is we can come down here. We can place a bit of cobble down like this to get us going. Place 3 down there. So the first one's going to go at this level. So just directly next to the sort of edge of this platform here. That's where that's going. Then you want a half slab gap, and the next ring is going to go at this level. So then at this point, it's a simple case of going all the way around the outside with these and filling the rims in. Now, if you want, you could get rid of the blocks on these corners here. So this one here and this one here on each of the 4 corners. They don't have to be there, but I'm not finding it too much of a problem to just leave them in place. So I will be leaving mine in place, but I just thought I'd mention that you can save a few blocks there if you want to. Now, with these rims, they do need to come right the way out to the outside here and go around the kill chamber area. So do make sure that you put them in the whole way. So if we just come back here, you'll see there it goes all the way around like that. We're going to do the same here with the top one. So yeah, whereas like there's a gap here on the normal platform, there's no gap in the rings, if you get what I mean. So basically it will look like this. Okay, very good. So then what we want to do is place down 5 temporary blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And with 5 fence gates, what we're going to do is place 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 and 5. And then we can go ahead and open all of these fence gates. At this point, we can get rid of these temporary blocks underneath them. And this is obviously to stop the water from falling down into the lava, but allow the golems, I should say, iron golems, to fall down into the lava. All right, now I'm just going to use cobble here to show you guys where the water is going to go, because I have to keep refilling my buckets. If you're in creative mode, you won't have that issue. But essentially, if we go to the opposite corner of where the kill chamber is, we can go over here like this. So that is now directly behind us. Just there. We want a water bucket to be placed here. Then we leave 2 gaps and a water bucket there, and 1 in this corner. Then we leave 2 gaps here, a water bucket there, and a water bucket in this corner. So that's going to be where you place your water. Now, with all of that placed, the water will flow nicely down here. You'll see that all the blocks, once it's done, will be have the ability to have the flowing water, as you see here, and it will all flow into the corner where the kill chamber is. Next up, we have these little areas here in between the platforms where the golems are going to be spawning, and this is going to be the home for our villagers that'll be scared, which is why the golems will spawn. So we built 3 of them. Again, we're going to build the 4th one on cam together, and this bit is a little bit finicky. So the way that I've been doing this is, if you go from the edge here, this is the extremity edge of the farms. If you go 1, 2, and on the 3rd, if we shift over here, we can place down a slab there like that and make a bridge going over to the next little bit, so over to this platform, and then just do a little thing back here like this, and this will be the back wall. That means our villagers are sort of trapped in here. So that is that bit done. Okay, so with the back bit in place, what you're going to do then is go here 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one here, we're going to shift out like this, and on that one there, place a block. I'm going to go along here just like this, the whole length. There we go with the blocks. Then we want to get our trap doors, and we're going to again shift over here and place down 5 of these trap doors, just like that. We can then close them all like that. So the trapdoors go on the side facing inwards towards the sort of collection area and the other farms areas and that sort of thing. You'll then have something that looks like this. And at this stage, what we're going to do is get rid of this block right here. And we're going to place this block down here like this so we can get down onto it. We're then going to place a half slab up on top of it. And we're going to start building backwards until we hit our back wall. There we go, just here. Then we're going to build along this back wall. So there'll be like a half slab gap, basically, you can see in here between all of this. Now, that's obviously not enough for the villagers to get out, so they will be safe in here. They cannot escape. Then what we're going to do is, again, using this block right here as a bit of a temporary block, we can place blocks here like this. And at this stage, we can get rid of all of these blocks here. Just keep this one. And we're going to build a block there and go along here with these blocks here like this, just like that. Now we can get rid of these blocks that were here, and we can place beds on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you want to get rid of the blocks underneath, this is not essential. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because I think it looks a little nicer. You can just take out the blocks there like that, and then fill them back in. And you have something that looks like this. And then we'll just stand up here. Here we go. Place that on there. And so at this stage, you should have something that looks like this. So if I'm looking across here, you can see 1, 2, and on the 3rd block there towards the back, that's where these trapdoors go. The beds are then immediately after, and if we come around here, you'll see the beds have a little bit of a half gap between the bed and where the trapdoors are. The slabs at the back are flush with these beds, and they go back by 2 until they hit our back wall. So that's how you build the little platforms for your villagers on each of the 4 sides. So next up, what we're going to do is make the little bit in the middle where the zombie's going to be on a minecart going around a track and basically scaring all of the villagers. Now, to do that, what we want to do is come to one of these corner bits like here, and just shift over and get a block placed down on the glass here like this. Okay, very good. If we place one on top of that, and then come out to here. This is going to be our first block. So those are just temporary blocks to get us into the right position. Now all we're going to do is simply build around until we touch the corner of each of them, just like this. And so it's going to be an exact square in the middle, as you might expect. And the zombie will go around here. We're also going to put a roof on this. We're going to put some powered rail on this so that he keeps going around nicely. The way we're going to do that is to get rid of these middle blocks here, just like this. Place down 4 redstone blocks in the middle, and each of these will be home to a powered rail, and obviously that will power the powered rail. Then we're going to place down our minecart like this. Very good. And the final thing to do is place a block on here, and then just shift and jump, place a house slab up on top of there, and all the way along we're going to place a little roof over the top of this rail. Now this is to protect our zombie from the sunlight, because obviously if the zombie is in sunlight, it will burn up and it will die, which is not so good. Now what we're going to be doing is getting a minecart with a zombie that has been named using a name tag inside it, and get him going around here for eternity. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to do this in survival mode. If you are in creative mode, of course, you might want to get a spawn egg, spawn the zombie down, place down a minecart here, and push it around so that it goes and picks the zombie up. Of course, do that once you've named it. But for those who are like me and doing this in survival, let's take a look at how we do that. Okay, so if like me, you're building this in survival, this is how we're going to do it. Basically, I've got a little bit of a box here. So the zombie, we're going to lead up here like this. Now, the reason for this is we're going to get him into this water, and I'll show you what's going to happen with the water stream in just a second. The reason that I'm doing it this way, though, is because if we had this lower down, other mobs could end up in here, skeletons or creepers or something, and you really don't want them going up your water elevator. So at the moment, this is just water. What I need to do is bring in some kelp, place it down on the sand block there, and place it all the way up to the top here. Then go down to the bottom, replace the sand at the bottom with a soul sand. I'm sure you guys will be familiar with water elevators, so that is the way that we're going to do that to get him up here like this. And you can see once he gets up here, he's going to be pushed into this corner right here, where we're going to do this classic trick with the minecart that I always do to get entities in. And basically what will happen, he'll come up, he'll, by the way, the roof is here, just to make sure if it turns daytime during this process or something, that he's not going to die or anything like that. So yeah, so then he comes up, forced into the corner, he'll go into the minecart. Once he's in the minecart, the momentum takes the minecart over this hump right here and down this way, where you can see he will join this track and then go around and around, at which point we can start dismantling the railway system that we have here. So I had to open up this trapdoor here, but yeah, this is how it looks. Now I'm just going to stand like reasonably near the top here and try and show you guys what I've done, just so you can kind of see this. And the useful thing about this, guys, is we can use the exact same thing for our villagers later. So I will show that on camera as well, getting our villagers in here. We'll get them into the minecarts, we'll get them into these 4 chambers around the edges here. So we've actually got a husk who has spawned, and I've gone ahead and named him. I called him Iron Nick as a name. It sort of sounded better in my head, like Iron Nick. Ironic that he's called that, and that's his nick, and he's going to be getting us. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we're going to use a husk. This will have an equal effect. So husks and zombies are interchangeable in this system. The good thing about using a husk is, as you can see, I can do this during the day, so there are no other mobs around that I have to fight off or worry about. I've just got Iron Nick here that I need to get into place. So what we're going to do is try and get him up here, and I would recommend that you do the same. If you can build this in a desert, if that's an option to you, I would go with that and try and get this dude like I have. So what we need to do now is... Wait, where did he go? Hey, dude. Come on, pathfind to me. You should be able to figure this one out. Okay, he's being silly. All right, we'll get him led this way. I'm over here now. Come on. He should definitely be able to get up here. This should not be an issue. So what we're going to do is get our pickaxe at the ready. So we're going to go up here like this. Get you ready. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no. Okay, hang on. Hang on. This is not good. Oh, there we go. All right, so he has fallen in. So a bit of a faff, but he's fallen in. Of course, he's hit me, so you're going to get a little bit of trouble when he hits you with the hunger stuff. Right now, he's not currently like taking any like hits or anything, so he's got full health. So if we just knock him in there... Oh, I forgot to do... Oh my goodness, I'm such an idiot. I forgot to set the whole thing up with the soul sand. Oh yeah, that's a total fail. Okay, let me go sort this out real quick. Okay, so what we've done, we've gone up to the top of this water stream here, and we're going to swim right down to the bottom. And he's probably going to try and hit us a bit, but there we go. So now we can just swim up like this. placing down all the kelp. So this is turning each of the water blocks into a water source block, which is why this works, because it does all need to be water source blocks in order for the bubble effect to take place. Now what we're going to do is destroy this, place the soul sand, and he's going to hit us a bit. We've got decent armor, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now if he does walk in here again, you can see I'm now being shot up with the bubbles, so we should be good. But we may need to pop back downstairs, give him a bit more of a nudge. So let's just go and have a look at that, see if he's going to go in on his own or not. Let's see, let's go up here. He is still there, but if we hit him again, there we go, he's gone. He is up the top somewhere. And to be honest, he should just be in the system now, because we had everything set up in place, ready to go. So let's see where he is. There we are, he's been picked up. If I can land, and there we go. There he goes. There goes Iron Nick. All right. So he is now just going round and round here forever. Good old Iron Nick, and he's going to be scaring all of our villagers once we get them in. So as I said, the next thing now, we just want to dismantle this stuff here, and obviously like put all this stuff back in place. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to look to get our first villagers in here, because this is the easiest one, as it is the closest. And yeah, then we should actually get golems spawning at that point, as soon as the villagers start to get scared. Okay, here he comes. So he's going to come on up here, and end up plopped in there. Oh, look at that, and then he got a hole in one. All right, so if I break this now, he's going to get pushed here. Now, we don't want to hit this guy. We just want to push him. We're going to do this in a friendly way. And okay, up he goes. Very good. And you know what? Let's go up with him. Let's just help him along here. And now we've got to get him into the minecart. So what we're going to do is just destroy this to get out. Oakley dokley. And I think if I put this in here. Yep, there we go. I got in the way, but there we go. There he is. He's down there. Okay, sweet. So now we're going to come down. We're going to break that. And he's in. Okay, very good. Then we're going to quickly jump out and block it off again. And he's in there. The first one's done. One other thing to mention about the villagers, something you just want to keep an eye on and maybe add after you've got them into their compartment like I have here, is to put a roof on top. And the reason for that is if they get struck by lightning, they'll turn into witches, and that's not good. So this roof will just negate that. Now, when you're placing this roof, make sure it's placed like this, so it's at the sort of half slab level, as I always say. It just means that no golems can spawn on top of here. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. We want them to spawn just there like that. That was good timing, buddy. So yeah, so do make sure you put a roof on here to protect your villagers. On a final note, the AFK platform you can build just down here next to the farm near where your storage area is. So that is pretty simple to do. Guys, I hope you liked today's episode. If you did, please do consider liking and subscribing for more. It is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in joining Tortuga, there'll be a link down in the description. And if you want to see me live, my Twitch will be in the description as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Well, having an iron farm on Tortuga really does make me feel like a bit of a pro, and also settles my needs for things like redstone contraptions and even building out of iron blocks in the future, which is very cool. Upcoming episodes are going to include building my mega base, guys. I am super excited for that, so if you want to stick around for that, keep an eye on my channel, then do consider liking and subscribing.